You want to go first?
I don't think we can have short memories with the pandemic. And there were times early on, before there were shots, before there were tests, where, being of a certain age, that you weren't sure you were going to make it, and that life would ever return to anything like normalcy.
Some of the obvious things that are going to stick out for me are wearing masks, gathering outdoors, habitual hand washing, getting vaccinated again and again and again. And the dark things, the loss of millions of people, and the anti-vax rhetoric that really divided people.
Another challenge, of course, of the pandemic was the people who got ill or died during the early stages, including my uncle, who lives in Florida, who we last saw in 2018, and certainly had no idea at the time that was going to be the last time that we would see him.
The pandemic for us was personal because, Josh didn't have, in-person bar mitzvah. He had to resume.
It was hard parenting young children in a pandemic and trying to balance work and school for them and just kind of life without any of the supports that we normally have, and not being able to see extended family. Their grandparents really weren't able to be in their lives the way that they always had been before.
I was furloughed actually, and then worked remotely. So that was kind of lonely for me. Used to being with a lot of people all the time. So that was an adjustment.
Years from now, what will stick out for me when I think about the pandemic? I think I will appreciate when normal life disappears, people that are stressed. It tends to bring out the best and the worst in some. And for me, the things that will stick out are some of the best parts of human nature that came out. An email would go out to the doctors in our department asking, we need yet a third surge team to staff all the extra ICU beds spilling all over the hospital and all the ventilators that had to be staffed. And within minutes, you'd have the entire department just volunteering for no extra pay, just to sign up for shift after shift.
I noticed, when people had COVID, people in our temple went out of the way to help the people who had COVID, and it just shows Jews help each other out, and it takes a community.
Fortunately, during the pandemic, I actually feel more connected than ever to the Jewish community. I have been involved in keeping the synagogue, schools, and the community healthy, open for business, and making sure that people avoid getting infections. It's really been a very meaningful time for me as an infectious disease specialist.
There's been so much isolation during the pandemic at different parts, and so coming to Temple Emmanuel, being connected to the Jewish community, has helped relieve some of that loneliness and isolation.
I was coming to Minyan every morning before the pandemic, and I was coming to Minyan every morning during the first couple of years through Zoom, and almost without missing a beat. And it was actually a nice way to experience services, so nice that I was wondering whether I was going to come back. And then when they said you can come back, I was debating it because I was getting what I wanted, I thought, from it. And then I came back about a week after the doors were opened again. And the first time you hear Shema, not through a computer, it's just an extraordinary thing. It's so extraordinary, it makes me emotional. Because you're back with your people. And so that connection, while it was always there, you're kind of reminded, this is what we lost, but we have it again.
We really miss being able to do Ein Kelohenu And we were very happy when we could start going in person and doing in Kalahenu for the congregation again.
Well, when we first came back, it was very nice. We were welcomed with open arms by many people who knew us, and it was always a pleasure. And now whenever we do go, we always get a great reception from the people who know us. So.
It was phenomenal. It was great.
Like a reunion.
Yeah.
Like a reunion.
Definitely. Yeah, we were like saying hi to everyone, asking how everybody's doing. It's like a big reunion. It was really, really awesome.
You were able to appreciate more what we have because we didn't have it for a while, right? So you come back like, wow, we have a great community. We have a beautiful sanctuary, right?
I sit in the same place every Shabbat with the same group of people. So every week we texted each other, Shabbat Shalom, how's everyone doing today? If I'm being really honest, I talk to these people not only at shul, but during services, and that continued. Now we're all starting to come back, but some weeks people aren't feeling comfortable coming back, so they text saying, I know you'll be at shul, but Shabbat Shalom, we won't be there. And it was a lovely kind of byproduct of the pandemic.
No, I'm looking forward to a school year without masks. I see kids in camp that I had in like High 385, and they come up and say hi and whatever, and it's like I don't recognize them because I only saw them. I didn't see the bottom of their face, so it's really nice to. I'm looking forward to seeing full faces this year.
I do feel that we have reached a new place, and I'm very hopeful.
Well, we met during the pandemic, so changed my life, and somehow I think, our family jokes that we're the silver lining of the pandemic, and this little boy here is as well. Rabbi Gardenswartz had said we were the first wedding he had done, I think, in 18 months. And so that also just felt really special, that for a clergy team that, had been leading services to an empty, room for so long. I don't think, I could get any greater joy than I've had in the last 2 years, despite all of the awfulness that's been going on around us. We somehow were able to find just joy upon joy.